Welcome to Fake Love and Flying Monkeys, the podcast where fake love is exposed. I'm Nova Gibson and I am your host. I'm the principal counsellor at Brighter Outlook Narcissistic Abuse Counselling.com.au. This space is dedicated to helping you reclaim your worth and understand the impact of toxic relationships with suspected narcissists. You deserve clarity, healing, and freedom from the pain of fake love and flying monkeys. So please leave a review and grab a copy of my book, Fake Love, Understanding and Healing from Narcissistic Abuse. Let's uncover the truth and take back your power. Hey everyone, Nova here. Welcome back to another episode of Fake Love and Flying Monkeys. Leaving a narcissist is never simple. It is not just a matter of walking out that door or blocking a number. For survivors, it can be one of the scariest, most confusing, and most emotional times of their lives. Any narcissistic abuse victim will tell you that. There's that very powerful trauma bond that makes the highs feel addictive and the lows unbearable. There can be shared children, tangled finances, mutual friends, and the endless guilt trips that make leaving feel just impossible. It takes enormous strength to make that decision, strength that often comes after years of walking on eggshells in that constant state of fight or flight, questioning reality and just shrinking parts of themselves just to survive. And even when they do leave, the emotional tug of war does not stop immediately. The pull of the trauma bond, the fear of retaliation, and the whispers of maybe they'll change can feel overwhelming. But there comes a point, a line that gets drawn in the sand, a point usually after the victim has had what I call their light bulb moment, when they know who and what they're dealing with, when the survivor knows deep down that they are never going back. And for the narcissist, that's when the mask cracks. That's their breaking point. Now, for most survivors, deciding to never return doesn't happen in one dramatic moment. It usually builds slowly. They've endured the cycles of the love bombing and devaluation so many times that they could script it themselves. They are experts in identifying these cycles. A client of mine that came to see me not so long ago. By the way, guys, if you would like to have a one-on-one Zoom counseling session with me, no matter where you are in the world, I'd love to support you. Just see my website link in the description. But this survivor remembers holding her child while enduring another cruel silent treatment, thinking, I can't let them grow believing that this is love. I want them to be in a relationship that feels healthy. She remembered sitting in her car outside her house, dreading walking inside because she never knew which version of her partner would greet her. She remembered the tears, the self-blame, and the endless hope that maybe, just maybe, this time the narcissist meant it when they promised to change. But the final straw for this beautiful client of mine came eventually. Now, for survivors who experience similar or the same as my lovely client, sometimes you will know it's dramatic, like a public humiliation, which is your final straw. It can be quiet, like just waking up one morning and realizing that You just don't have the strength to explain yourself one more time to the narcissist. Whatever the trigger is for you, whatever your final straw is, you are finally seeing the truth that nothing will ever change. And once that decision is made, everything shifts. So what happens when the narcissist becomes aware of this major shift in you? Well, narcissists can sense when their control is slipping. It's like a sixth sense. Suddenly, the charm gets cranked up. The texts become constant. The I love you sound more desperate. Apologies pour in, just dripping with promises of therapy, self-awareness, and second chances. From the survivor's side, it feels almost surreal. Those same words used to have so much power, words that could reel them back in, words that made them doubt their instincts, but now they seem rehearsed, very predictable, and so empty. Instead of pulling the survivor back in, the words actually push them further away. For the first time, the survivor feels this flicker of freedom. However, the narcissist is not just going to throw their hands up in the air and give up immediately. No, they want to regain that control of you. It does not sit well with them that you're ignoring them. So when the sweet talk fails, those I love yous are no longer a potent weapon of theirs, then they'll just shift gears and they'll lash out. The survivor will now hear venom. You're ungrateful. You're abandoning your family. You'll never find anyone else who loves you the way I do. You'll never find anyone like me. Well, just quietly, guys, that's actually the goal. Well, once upon a time, those words would have crushed the survivor. Now, while the sting is still there, the survivor is at the point where they recognize them for what they are, who they are, that desperado that has the control just slipping through their fingers. The rage, though, from that narcissist feels scary, but it also validates the victim's choice. They can see that the narcissist is unraveling, and with every cruel outburst, their decision to stay gone feels so much more solid. And as their control dwindles, the narcissist will also turn to others. They'll paint the survivor as unstable, selfish, or even abusive. Friends hear stories that just don't add up. Your family members get dragged into the drama. For the survivor, this phase can be agonizing. It feels like betrayal all over again, especially when people take the narcissist's side. But with distance also comes perspective, guys. One mother of two who came to see me described hearing that her ex was telling people she never cared about her children. And at first she described just feeling absolutely devastated because she loved her children so much. She was such a wonderful mother. But then she realized it was nothing more than him projecting and another attempt to control the narrative. And oddly, that realization made her feel stronger. If any of you can relate to this particular story, then what you experienced was the classic narcissistic smear campaign. They can't control you or your emotions anymore, so they seek to change the perspective, the opinions of others to isolate you and make you feel like everyone is against you. And of course, to make sure that you have no one that believes you. The narcissist may also try to hoover you back. Hoover coming from the Hoover vacuum cleaner, meaning to suck you back into engaging with them or into a relationship with them. Just when a survivor starts to find their footing, starts to heal, is normally when the narcissist will engage in a very well thought out Hoover maneuver. Maybe you'll get a gift on your doorstep. I hear this a lot. Or maybe there'll be a note on your doorstep that says, I can't live without you. Or maybe mutual friends or flying monkeys, as they are at that time, will hint to you that, oh my goodness, they've changed. Or sometimes there are even these really dramatic gestures like flowers at work and letters saying that they promise to go to counseling. Now, the survivor may feel that familiar tug, but this time it doesn't pull them under. Their hands may still shake when the phone buzzes. Even if they've got them blocked, their heart may still race when a message pops up, even if they have them blocked. But each time they choose not to engage with the narcissist's attempts to hoover them, the strength inside them grows. And that silence, that becomes their superpower. Now, if you're listening to this and you're thinking to yourself, Nova, I definitely do not feel that superpower yet. When is it going to happen for me? I just want to be clear, guys, that freedom, that feeling doesn't come overnight. At first, when you feel a change in yourself, weeks, months, maybe even a year down the track, you might wake up expecting that usual dread in your stomach, only to find it's not there anymore. You realize that you can actually go a whole day without a single cruel word, without waiting for the mood to change. You notice that you're laughing again, like real belly laughs. Maybe you realize that you can spend time with your children without that tension sucking the joy out of the room. Maybe you feel lighter, as if years of pressure have finally lifted, or all of the above. And that's when it clicks that you're not going back. And for the narcissist, that is when panic truly sets in. For the victim, freedom is powerful, but it certainly doesn't erase the pain. Survivors often grieve deeply and need to grieve what they've lost. They grieve the person they thought the narcissist was, the one who swept them off their feet in the beginning. They grieve the life they dreamed of but never got. They grieve the time they lost, the birthdays that were ruined, the energy that was zapped away from them. But unlike the grief that kept them stuck before, this grief is healing. It moves them forward. It makes room for peace in their life. Getting back to the narcissist, their breaking point doesn't look like a single meltdown. It's more like this slow spiral. Rage one day, love bombing the next, smears the day after that. From the survivor's perspective, it can feel kind of strange to watch. They might still feel anger. They might still feel fear. Sometimes they even feel pity, but they don't feel trapped anymore. One survivor described it to me perfectly. She said, it was like watching this storm from the safety of my own house, and I loved that analogy. She said, the thunder was still loud, the lightning was still really scary, but she knew it couldn't reach her anymore. It couldn't hurt her. The narcissist's breaking point isn't actually about them at all. It's about the survivor finally choosing themselves. It's about the mother who decides her children deserve peace, not chaos, and that she deserves that too. It's about the man who realizes love should not feel like punishment. It's about the countless survivors who draw a line and refuse to cross it ever again. The narcissist breaks when the survivor no longer plays their game, and that's the ultimate victory. This isn't about winning, though, for the survivor. This is about healing. And with every day that passes, survivors start to rebuild. They rediscover their hobbies, friendships they thought they'd lost. They rediscover their laughter. They learn to trust themselves again. And they realize that love is not supposed to hurt. The narcissist may continue cycling through their tired old tactics with someone new, but the survivor is out of the storm. They are no longer supply. They are no longer trapped. And that's what the breaking point is really about. Not the narcissist losing control, but the survivor finally gaining it back. Leaving a narcissist is scary, guys, confusing and heartbreaking. Trauma bonds, children, finances, all of those things I mentioned earlier, and fear make it one of the hardest battles a survivor will ever face. But when they do it, when they stand their ground and never look back, it becomes the moment that changes everything. The narcissist rages, smears, hoovers, and spirals. The narcissist goes on with their life of being a narcissist, doing what narcissists do. But the survivor, they rise. And in the end, that's the only breaking point that really matters. And that brings us to the end of another Fake Love and Flying Monkeys episode. Yes, that moment you realize you're never going back for you, that's clarity for the narcissist. It's chaos. It's the end of their control. Don't forget, guys, if you would like to have a one-on-one Zoom counseling session with me, please just see my website link in the description, where you will also find a link to order your copy of my best-selling book, Fake Love. Now, if you would like to support the channel to keep going, every little bit helps. And the best thing you can do is to share and to leave a rating and a review. It helps us out so much. On that note, guys, it's bye from me for now. Until the next episode, remember, you are worthy of love, and you are worthy of so much more than a lifetime of fake love and flying monkeys.